Assalamualaikum everyone.
Merhaba.
Khushamedid.
Hoş geldiniz.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will be doing drama reviews on Miyaan,
Biwi
Aur TV. So guys, welcome. Today we have two dramas. So yeah, just two dramas because we are waiting for more dramas to come and so we can review. Maybe you guys can give suggestions. Not maybe, actually, please do give us suggestions. So yes, going back to the dramas we will be reviewing today. Number one. Drum roll please. Qarz Jaan. OMG, what an intense show. But before that, let's say number two will be Dastak, which is not as obviously not
it's not intense.
Even
as
close
much
to
Qarz
being
Jaan.
intense as Qarz Jaan, but pretty
Definitely.
still serious storyline going in Dastak as well. Dastak, knock knock.
Knock, knock.
So let's straight away go into the drama review with Qarz Jaan because there is so much to talk about this show. These two episodes, especially Saturday's episode, was such a roller coaster. Like just, we were just like what going on throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Qarz Jaan, your initial thoughts on the episode number 29.
Okay, the first episode that's
Yeah, on
like
Saturday.
this week.
Yep.
I mean, we saw Asad got killed by Ammar. Then Ammar didn't even hesitate even while killing, and also after that he literally he answered the phone. I'm just I will say one thing because of that I'm saying these things. He literally answered the phone and he talked to his sister. I mean, I don't know what to say actually, honestly. This show is too intense, and Ammar should have punished actually before.
Yeah.
So this maybe wouldn't happen.
Yes.
So this show is giving a little while watching is headache to me. This really because you want some justice. But then
Justice League.
You are not seeing that. It's giving, I don't know, hard time while watching. I will just say.
Erdem, I am a witness. Yeah. Erdem is really having a hard time watching this story. But I am watching, of course. I am not missing any beats. I am as frustrated as Erdem. But I will say as a show, it's a good show in the sense it has got all the beats. It had its romantic parts a little bit, we saw. Then it had its very emotional family drama. Now it has
mostly romantic is the scenes, maybe 5% maximum.
Yes,
95% is zulm of this Bakhtiyar family.
Yes.
We are watching Bakhtiyar family right now.
Yes. So, I mean, that is what the story is about. But yes, going back to the highlight, the most astonishing. Actually, we were expecting that Asad was going to be killed.
We made a poll about that also, we can mention.
You guys can check out the poll. I mean, now it's after the whole incident, but you guys can check out, and the majority, 70-something% people
Asad,
voted Asad will be gone. So everyone was right. Good job, everyone. So yes, so Asad was murdered as we saw, but the way he was murdered, that was a shock for me. It got very predictable. That Nashwa had her nikah with Ammar. We predicted it even before it was revealed. Then they showed it. Okay. Then we were like, okay, something's gonna happen. We were like, okay, is it going to be Asad or is it going to be Ammar? Then we were like, Asad by the close to the episode, and it was predictable. It has to be something. But the way it was done, I did not. That was a shock to me because, I thought there would be a confrontation between the two.
Right.
Then, of course, we knew Ammar will do something criminal like this, but he will maybe lose control. Yeah. But it was a very cold-blooded murder.
He literally did just count down.
Your countdown starts now. It's 1. Asad 2. Gun नीचे रख दो अमर. Please. Asad 3. ये बचपना छोड़ दो. Asad 4.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then.
So basically, we now fully Ammar has been established as a psychopath. He's a psychopath who has no remorse, no guilt. Because even in that instant, not talking about Sunday's episode, but Saturday's episode, after he kills, like you said, and we will let's talk about that more. After he kills, he's just standing there smiling, and he has no regret or shock of what he's done.
The most actually like shocking thing he did is answering the call, and he's like
call.
Like the selfie camera from selfie
also
camera.
Video
he showed,
call.
Yes, video call, and he showed.
अम्मार, तुम्हारे पास असद का फोन क्या कर रहा है? असद से बात कराओ मेरी।
असद मेरे साथ है। ये देखो।
Yes, and
he said like,
yes, I was going to say
I killed your husband.
So the thing that was, I know we went straight to the point, but I think it's better to go straight to the point. So when Binish is calling Asad, and then Ammar, yes, video call, and she said, Ammar, what are you doing with Asad's phone? Where is Asad? And he said, oh yeah, your husband is right next to me, and he's smiling. And then he's like, look, say hello to Asad, or I killed Asad. He even confessed.
So that it was.
I was just shocked. How can you be so, like, okay, you just killed a man, but that's still, okay, that was your sister's husband, but this is your sister. You grew up together. How can you be so cold-blooded? And it still didn't hit him that what he had done. And just before I was going to add something, okay, I lost my train of thought. Okay, you say.
I was gonna just ask you, what do you think about acting of Ammar in the show?
Very good. Ammar, Namir Khan, good job.
He felt right, the feeling, everything.
I will say something about his acting in the second episode, but him being not a good guy, being a criminal, being emotionally abused and physically abused by his parents, playing that role. Then his controlling nature, a little bit we saw over Nashwa, his conflict with Nashwa, all very good job. So Namir Khan, very good job. But Ammar's character from the beginning was a big red flag, and more than now, he's like a big psychopath, criminal flag, whichever flag is that. So now it's been fully established. So I don't know, people who were maybe thinking Ammar will redeem himself. We were never on that side after what he had done with that girl Maheen. But now there is nothing left in that character. He's a goner. He's gone. And I mean, this show is trying to establish how a villain is made. Basically, it's like his, you know how in Marvel movies and DC they have origin stories of villains and superheroes
becoming evil.
Yes, so this is the origin story of Ammar.
But would you say like he was right to becoming an evil guy?
No, he wasn't. Everyone has a choice in life.
No, some people in the Marvel or DC, just right now we are saying some brands, I know, but like some like movies, we can see the evil guy is really suffering so much, and like he's becoming like sometimes you just think like that, okay, maybe he was kind of, I mean, you still don't say like, of course he had all the rights to become an evil guy, but still you sometimes say
you
like,
can empathize a little.
Yes, empathize a little, like you can say he was okay, like he was gonna become like, I guess, so
the society broke
him. But Ammar's situation was very different. He was very much like in childhood, I don't know what trauma he like
we
faced,
saw
but
his father abusing him.
Yes, but like we didn't see his childhood.
No,
also.
I am definitely not.
We didn't see his childhood.
Yes, but we knew.
We just saw 1-2 years before, like the.
Yes, but we got a glimpse. Like he has been really pampered and given so much free rein by his dadi, by his mother. His mother didn't have much power to say anything anyways. Then his dadi, my hero, my this, my that, my beta, he can do nothing wrong. And then Bakhtiar, on the other hand, always abused him, humiliated him. But even when he did wrong, he just got him out of it.
But the problem is, I do not understand one thing. Actually, Bakhtiar uncle is right about humiliating also him.
No,
he was right, because why? He is always like kind of doing very bad things he was doing.
He didn't. Humiliating, I feel like it should be the consequences of his actions. He always freed him from the consequences. For example, Maheen's case.
I'm not saying those are not right. Oh no, I was talking about some parts that he was humiliating him was right. Because for example, first of all, he like what did he do to that
Mahin,
girl?
yes.
Mahin, we know. So the other thing is, in front of his friends, I know he slapped, Bakhtiyar uncle slapped him. So then what did happen? Like, he was always smoking, like he was just hiding the smoke and stuff, like
Yes.
cigarette. So he's always, I feel like a little, like doing some very much stuff that their parents do not want. So he was always like this. So he wasn't behaving like a good person also.
Yes.
So I feel like he kind of, like, he was, I don't know, Bakhtiyar uncle was right for like humiliating him a little maybe.
I don't think. I think he should have gotten him treated way before.
No, that's true. I'm
Yes.
just saying some things he was correcting him, trying to correct him.
I
but
don't think he tried to correct him. He just beat him and humiliated him. These kind of people, if you do this, it worsens their condition. He always degraded his son. That was not the right solution.
Yeah.
Even if Ammar deserved to be, but there is a way to do this, and he should have faced the consequences of his actions, of his big. He always took him out because it was Bakhtiyar's
Yeah.
reputation that was at stake.
that
He
was
didn't
a
care for Ammar.
reputation, but still I feel like I know you are right about that. I agree with you, but my only thing is he deserved to do these things. I was saying just
I think it made him. All of that made him do what he did.
because it's like a loophole. Like
Yeah.
it's loophole. If you do something bad, of course the consequence will be bad. That if you say this consequence is bad, so I should become an evil, then if you weren't gonna do a bad thing then.
But if you
Right?
treat,
Did you
I
understand
agree.
my,
Yes,
like
I'm
my
just-
perspective?
yes,
No, because
yes.
you are doing a bad something, like, right? You are committing a crime, let's say, and then after that, then your father is humiliating you in front of your friends or whatever, let's say, or your father is humiliating. You deserved it because you did something bad. It's obvious.
But
like, it's not.
I understand where you are going, but my thing with this is that there is a way to do this. If you are going to just worsen the
Well,
situation,
how are you gonna treat like how 20 years old he is, like 25? I
in
don't
his
know.
late
like,
20s, I guess, or mid 20s,
how are you gonna treat him like
Take
that?
him
Taking
to-
him to
a
rehab?
station.
But how? Like, he will not like.
you sometimes have to force these, and Bakhtiyar has that much of power.
I don't know. He
and
wouldn't-
not do it in public if you're
He
gonna
was
do.
kind of, but becoming a rebellious also. He was like, I don't think he would accept this also. It's hard.
I think
It's
it
hard.
is not, but parenting done
I
by
don't know.
Bakhtiyar, okay, we are having some disagreement over this, but I think what they have showed is basically the parenting, the upbringing, the parvarish of this character was such as, and he saw enablers, he saw what his father and his dadi did to Bisma all his life. They saw what they did to other people. Must have he seen to Asim, for example, Asim's family, and Mahin. He knew, he saw everything. His father was a fraud businessman. He is
Yeah.
probably
He wasn't honest.
defrauding people. He's a dishonest man, and he said, you guys are hypocrites. He literally said that. If you are seeing this behavior at home, of course you lead by example. What kind of example are you setting up for your child? And on top of that, you are also degrading your child who is already
Well,
suffering
my
from all
only thing
this.
is, I don't think Bakhtiyar uncle is always wrong. He was also, Ammar was very wrong about so many things.
Yes, but
he has a conscience. He has he's a grown-up man. So he
Yes.
did so bad things like he did. We saw like from Mahin.
He is wrong for wiping all his sins under the carpet. He essentially did that.
Yeah.
To him, he was like, yes, you are a loser. But to the world, he was like, no, my son is innocent. That is where I think he did it
Yes,
wrong.
true. And also he
So-
still gave his business to him also. He's
He didn't want Ammar actually to be much involved in that.
But he was still
Yes,
a
so
little bit in charge. Actually, he wasn't wanting. Yes, I remember.
Yes,
True.
he
But
didn't
in the
want.
last episodes, I felt like he was coming to office. He was leaving.
yes, Ammar was trying. He thought maybe
Yeah.
responsible because he's married. His mother was encouraging him. His dadi was encouraging him. But actually, from his heart, Bakhtiyar, we saw in many instances, he was still like, why are you coming? He was telling to his manager, don't give Ammar anything. Don't tell him these things. But so we saw. So anyways, this extensive, I think it's good that if dramas are arising such debates even between
Yeah.
us, it means they're doing a good job. Like the topic
we
is
can
that
say like
stirring.
that. Yeah.
So we did extensive analysis, psychoanalysis on Ammar. I think we should move forward from that. So as we saw, the events that prompted Ammar to do this, of course, they go way back, his whole upbringing, but there were some recent stimuli which were triggering factors, which his father's again insulting him when he went to the office, and before that Nashwa just took him to rehab, which was, I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So those things were big triggers, and then he had all flashbacks of Maheen and he wanted to prove himself.
But still, those flashbacks were not enough to become like this.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's a history coming on. This was the end point. There is always, before something big happens, there is some
But
trigger.
maximum 10 instances there were.
No,
like,
I'm talking about his
5, 10.
we can extrapolate to how his life has been. This, I mean, in drama we saw 10 episodes, but like, I mean, his whole life.
But he is a pampered. He was pampered
Yes,
also.
spoiled, pampered, and
Spoiled.
yes.
So I don't think like Bakhtiyar uncle always actually humiliated. I mean, he actually freed himself, like him like so many times also from jail. He bailed out.
Which I am saying he did wrong. That it falls
He
on
did
Bakhtiyar.
wrong. True, he did wrong. But I'm just saying also, like, he was a spoiled son.
But who spoiled him? Grandma and Bakhtiyar also. He was still giving him everything, na? You don't give him everything. Don't give him the money. Don't give him the access. Show him. Let him face. So let's move on. I think we are getting stuck back. It's a very tempting topic to discuss, but I think we need to move on. Otherwise, our whole 40-50 minutes we will be
But 2 episodes were based on this.
Yes,
we
but
can talk about
other
this
things also.
No, other
Now
things,
there
but
are.
were like less things actually
Yes.
that happened.
But what one thing, I mean, maybe it's not a very good element in me, but because we were seeing so much of Bakhtiyar and Maji literally rejoicing on other people's pain and suffering. For example, mainly Nashwa and especially Bisma, they were smiling when they were like begging them, desperate in front of them. Now seeing the despair on Maji and especially Bakhtiyar, how broken he is, I found a little bit retribution, and I am a little, maybe don't want to admit this, but I did find some satisfaction, because I was like, okay, now do you see what you've been doing all your life to other innocent people?
Yeah,
right? What did you think about that?
I agree with you.
So that I did not feel any empathy for Bakhtiyar and none for Maji at all. Did you feel
And
any
Ammar
empathy?
Also, I will
yes,
say.
Ammar definitely,
also.
but I'm talking about Bakhtiyar, Maji only for the mother.
Yeah.
I felt because her daughter, young daughter, just became a widow, and then her own son is the murderer. That's like,
no, I didn't feel anything about like the
Bakhtiyar
grandma and
Maji.
Bakhtiyar Maji.
Yeah. So then Beenish is in shock, we see, and we will talk about Beenish, played by the actress Fajr. I wrote her name, Fajr Sheikh. Very good acting. Just the one thing is that Bakhtiyar is sitting with an old picture of him, a child with him,
Beenish.
and he's crying. We first thought it was Ammar, but then we
Ammar,
realized
I
it's
thought.
actually Beenish. And he feels more pain for his daughter, which I thank God he feels some pain for someone, a human being. But Maji comes and says, oh, but Ammar is our son, we should get him out. Okay, it was in Asad's kismat to die. I don't understand the way they use faith in this drama, especially Maji. The way she uses faith, she manipulates to serve her agenda is so sick, so twisted, and so evil. Right? She uses Quranic like verses. I don't want to say, so I don't misquote, but like things that are a part of her religion, like widows' rights and things, but she twists them in such ways to use it for her gain. And it's like, are you not seeing what else the religion says? How do you have to fulfill your every person's rights? So this is so twisted to me. So good for that she has to suffer. I don't even know if she's suffering. I mean, she definitely is, but I feel she still doesn't realize as much as maybe Bakhtiyar. Maybe something is hitting him, but still we are, I think, far from that still. Okay, so that was very intense for episode 29. I think we should be a little fast for episode 30. So we see that Burhan calls Nashwa and he tells her that, Nashwa, you need to be careful, Ammar was your husband. And Nashwa is very like cold with him, which I don't understand. Nashwa, please give him a break. Why are you being so? He's like coming from a good place, so let him like console you. She is always pushing Burhan, and I am kind of over with it.
People can like maybe tell otherwise. I know maybe in the comment section you guys can tell, but I will just say honestly, two characters I don't like much. Actually, really, of course, Maji and Bahtiyar uncle, they are really like, and Ammar also, they are really like zalim, and they are like so bad people. But still, I will say two characters I don't like much: Bisma and Nashwa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hot. Controversial take. I am not siding with this man, even though he's my husband. No, Bisma, you know, I like Bisma. I have empathy, sympathy for Bisma.
I don't have much.
Adam gets frustrated when she was being more like just taking everything and not giving anything back. But
still, I feel like
I'm getting a little annoyed by Nashwa. I don't know if she will redeem that arc for me. This is a hot take. I know many people will not like this, but Nashwa why is she so cold with Burhan? To me, that is just like, it doesn't settle well with me. And also, why is she still with his family? I understand she can be there for Binesh, but no one else deserves her to fight for them in that family. No one else, just Binesh. And but we will see there was actually less role of Nashwa in these episodes and more the other characters, Bakhtiyar even, and Binesh and Ammar even. So then we see that Bakhtiyar visits Ammar in jail again. That was his tone is again like, I wish I prayed for a son. I wish I had never prayed for a son. Then it quickly changes into say something.
पता नहीं क्यों मैंने अल्लाह से दुआएं मांगी थी कि मुझे बेटा मिले, तुम जैसा बेटा। कुछ तो बोलो बेटा।
And it was so good acting again because it just changed from his original, how he's always with Ammar.
Maybe he wanted to hear something at least
like why?
No, I did this because something
yeah, he
just
said,
he
give me something, why did you do this? So that desperation in his voice was so good, that switch was so good, the switch that Bakhtiyar did. And then we see Nashwa also meets Ammar, and she is like, oh, you know how, do you even know how to console what you did to Binesh? She was your sister, all that. Okay, whatever. That scene was fine with me. It wasn't very impactful, honestly, for me. Then Bakhtiyar talks to his lawyer, who says that you already have such a good lawyer at home, so why don't you hire Burhan? And we will see something we saw in the promo. Otherwise, also he says that are your in-laws like Asad's family that well off? Maybe you can buy them, or maybe you can settle it out of court.
That is also so bad.
Yes, just use your money and power, which he's always been doing his whole life, and just
and
use
Asad
that.
Got killed because of that also.
Yes, because he was an honest man.
He wasn't. He was honest. The Asad was. He wasn't. Yes, Bakhtiyar uncle wasn't honest, and actually, like he kind of some, you know, like he gave some confidence to Ammar also. I feel like he gave some motivation because they talked and he just went lashed. And like he went to that site.
Yes, the construction
site. I feel like he also has some.
Yes, definitely.
Impact.
So now let's just talk about Binesh. So Binesh's conversation Binesh comes to Barkat Villa all alone. She's dropped off and she's in a state of shock. She comes and then she has her scene with Nashwa where she says, I want my son Hadi. He's just 2 months old, and how can he? They made me leave the house and they forced me out of the house and they took my son. They are saying as long as our son doesn't get justice, you cannot meet your son. So they want Ammar to suffer for his actions, and then they will let Binesh, because Binesh is Ammar's sister.
हादी रो रो के हल्कान हो जाएगा. तुम तो ये नहीं चाहती ना?
मुझे झूठी तसदिया मत दो नशवा. मुझे पता है मेरा हादी
So that whole scene, I will say, for me, the way she's acting, her like
Yeah.
having panic attack, I felt it so much because I know what a panic attack looks like. I was really like affected by that, and I think again, actress Fajr Sheikh, clapping for you. You did so good in these 2 episodes, especially this episode. Her whole body language, her expressions, her tone, everything was very good. What did you think? Like both the scenes where she's talking with Nashwa and with her mother also. What did you
it
think?
was actually, the acting was brilliant, I can say.
Yeah.
There is no any like
What
problem
do you,
I see. My only thing is I agree with actually Bisma's like in-laws. So I'm sorry guys again if anyone is
My husband is on fire today.
I am
making controversial statements.
Yes,
Go ahead.
controversial statement. First one was Ammar was fully responsible of everything. I don't think he's like that, or of course I agree with you, everything what you said, everything is correct, but still it's my opinion.
Of course he is.
Ammar
definitely.
was a kind of lost case, I feel like.
Yes.
I don't think he, like there would be any like some chance for him, I would say. So that is my thing. Then the 2 characters I don't like, I said controversy too is
Maybe don't say that over and over again. We don't want dislikes on our video.
no, I want to say honestly.
Okay, share your opinion. Of
Yes,
course.
these are my opinions.
Just our opinions.
No, because I can actually like also say why am I like I'm thinking like this. For example, first of all, Nashwa is of course a good character. Her character is like really like she's a very like good person, like she's very much thinking of everyone and stuff, like she's also thinking of her mother so much, and she sacrificed herself for her mother and stuff. So I agree, okay, very nice like characters, everything is like clean, 100% pure character, but still she's taking so much to her, like she's taking so much. I felt like you should be a little, because in first episode she was so rebellious, right? She was like, I will work, I will go there, I will do this, I will become a lawyer and stuff. So now she became her like mother, and her mother also I didn't like in the first episodes, because she was also like whatever they say she was doing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, of course, whatever. Like, maybe she wasn't saying of course, but she was saying, yes, okay, let's do like, like I can, okay, bring you chai, I can bring you glass, water, I can bring you this, bring you that. She was doing every housework, I guess, chores.
Yes.
So because of that, 2 characters I said I don't like much. Then this 3, what did I say about the Benish's in-laws? No, in-laws.
In-laws. You started.
So in-laws, I feel like they were right about this, because
So do you think they taking a 2-month-old baby from its mother is justified?
no, not that. Like
Their condition is good, acceptable.
Ammar should get punished, then
Yes.
she will see the baby.
But the baby is her baby. She's the mother. They
True.
don't have a right.
True,
like that.
but still the other like the people family is also murderer family.
Yes. I agree and I disagree. I understand they are in pain and they know that
Yeah.
these people are extremely powerful. So maybe this is the way to deal with them. But then again, it is not Benish's fault. But
No, it's not Benish's
yes,
fault.
but they are making it her fault now by doing this. But they are in also.
They said just Ammar
But
should get punished. That's
but
all.
taking a
Right.
child away from a
But
mother,
true,
a grieving
that's
mother
also
also who
true.
just
Yeah.
lost her husband.
Yeah.
I think it's like.
But they
hell.
also lost their son. Maybe it was
Yes.
their one son. It was.
Yes, but I am
His
saying
son.
that, but that is they are taking it out on Benish. But yes, it's so complicated.
Complicated.
It's so complicated that that again I will say having this conversation is a positive sign. It's a very
Yeah.
good sign for that the drama is making you like it's putting you in a moral quandary. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
wait, it's like a philosophy class. They always say if your brake fails and you have 3 people here, 1 people, what will, you know, like then you're, like, so it's like that kind of a situation. Exactly. I forgot the philosophy term for that. Anyways, like I was saying, Benish's acting was amazing.
Acting was amazing.
Fajr Sheikh, not Benish's acting. Benish is being Benish. Like,
Okay, being Benish, yeah.
yeah, the
People
actress playing
understood.
Benish. One thing I will like to say over here. So Nashwa says to I think she says to Ammar, yes, she says to Ammar that maybe because you destroyed an innocent woman and she couldn't get justice in this life, talking about Maheen, so it's her badwa that finally...
You said Bisma or?
Sorry, Nashwa says to Ammar.
Not Nashwa.
Nashwa.
Nashwa also the mother was saying, Ammar's mother was saying to Maji.
No,
and
see, that's what I'm coming at.
Okay.
So Nashwa says to Ammar, mixing all the names, Nashwa says to Ammar, that girl whose life you destroyed, Maheen, this is her badwa. She couldn't get justice in this life. So there is Maheen's badwa on these people directly for what Ammar did to her. And then Bakhtar, we have still to find out if he really killed her. Then the second thing is where, yes, Ammar's mother says to Maji and Bakhtiar that remember when you guys tried to take away Nashwa from Bisma, now look, they took our daughter's son from her. So this is her, she was crying. I knew that this would come on my children, and now my children, her life is destroyed, her husband is gone, young widow, yes, and my son is a murderer.
अगर आप अच्छे इंसान होते तो आज उस सर झुका के खाली हाथ ना बैठे होते मेरे सामने। आपको पता है हमारी बेटी रुल गई है और बेटा कातिल बन गया है। ये सब आपकी और आपकी वजह से माँ जी, क्योंकि सारी जिंदगी लोगों की हक तलफियां करते हुए आपने ये नहीं सोचा कि वक्त अपने तरीके से हिसाब लेता है, किसी को माफ नहीं कर।
So both, yes. So imagine how many more. I don't think in drama we saw 2 cases. I'm sure in the kind of people they are.
Well, my only thing is, again, I will say this thing about Ammar. First of all, Ammar's mother, I forget the name.
I also...
The character name. So Ammar's mother was already actually kind of accepted everything actually he did before also. He committed very big sin, very big something like...
Everyone is contributed in this fiasco.
Still she can say, oh, my son turned out to be a murderer, but your son actually was almost murdered before also. It's not new something. It's not new. Like,
I have something to say for this. Sometimes you live in such a bubble of denial and delusion for people you love that you actually convince yourself. Our brains are hardwired sometimes this way as a defense mechanism to survive. If she constantly keeps thinking he did this to a girl, she will believe anything that is the opposite because she didn't see directly. Right now, these people cannot escape that Ammar did this because of it's Binish's husband. It's their son.
But what if it wasn't Binish, then somebody else?
Then they would still accept. So that is what I'm saying. Now it hit them so closely. It's literally their whole family is destroyed. That now
we have a saying in Turkish, for example, if there is a snake, but if that snake is not biting us, it's fine. Kind of. But if that snake is biting other people, it's fine. If that snake is biting us, then it's not fine. Sorry, did I say it wrong?
A few moments later.
It's okay. Now we understood.
If the snake is biting other people, then it is fine, kind of, because it's not biting us. But then the snake, right now, snake bit them actually, kind of like.
So we see so many parallels going on in this story, and here I think we should end this review before it goes on because it was so fun to analyze these episodes because it was just very philosophical, moral, criminal, psychological. So many aspects going on, so many relationships, so intense.
I mean, we are not psychiatrists or psycho.
Of course, we are not, but we are human beings who experience all these things, right? We experience these things. So, and these are just our opinions. So please do not take anything, do not get offended by anything. These are just our opinions, and we will love to hear yours. So where I would like to end it, I was saying so many parallels. Now we see that Binish is in the not same, but similar situation as Bisma was. When they wanted Bisma to live a colorless life, the first thing her mother says when Binish comes, what kind of clothes are you wearing so colorless?
The Bisma.
So first parallel drawn. Then we saw, of course, we've already talked about the Nashwa Bisma parallel. Right? And now we are also seeing what they did with Nashwa also. Right? They tried to take Nashwa away from Bisma, and now Bisma's child taken
That
away.
cloth, actually, I missed that
Yes.
detail.
She says, and I knew they were.
Good point.
So I am just saying, like, and now also he was making, Bakhtiar was like, Burhan, you whatever, and now he might have to go to Burhan to get his, but he will do it his Bakhtiar evil way. But just how this family is still in self-delusion, self-denial, and I think they will continue to be until I don't know what happens, because this is the biggest thing that could have happened. We will see. I think I am also tired talking about Qarz Jaan, because it was like we said, I think how many times we should put a counter.
Should we say like another controversy, should I say?
No, please. I think you've hit your quota for today. Please don't. Please don't. Nashwa fans will come. You know, Yumna Zaidi is a big name. But of course, we are not talking about Yumna Zaidi. We're talking about Nashwa, the character.
One thing I want to say about before closing.
Okay. Guys, I do not approve of. I'm joking. Say.
No, I was gonna say, if anyone like right now watching us and relating to Ammar, like, oh, but he did like this and stuff.
Justifying him?
Yes, justifying. Do not subscribe.
Since we have a new YouTube channel.
Okay, this was a joke, of course. Everyone has own opinions.
But I don't think anyone can now justify. Ammar, they can say, maybe like me, they can say that.
No, because why did I say this? Do you remember we talked about this maybe like some couple of days ago? You were saying in some comments, people were saying some like about Ammar, some girls were, I guess, like crushing on him.
Yeah.
So I'm saying because of that.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Girls
don't.
Sometimes, like I said, go for like bad boys, but this is not a bad boy.
This is something
another
else.
level of you don't want to be with a killer now, do you?
Yeah.
Like, okay, he was, by the way, already rapist, so it's not even a qualification. He's in the worst company still.
So that's all. Now I finished my things. We are done.
Yes, so I think you must have not seen my husband this passionately talking in other reviews, but this really, like, you know, which I am actually very happy to see. So guys, that was our Qarz Jaan review. You must share your comments and views and what do you think, your thoughts with us, because these episodes, like we had a debate, I'm sure you guys have plenty to say. So let's move on to a slightly lighter show, Dastak. Knock knock. Who's there?
Dastak.
Or Moiz, because he's always knocking on Kiran's door. Like, I am here. So
let's start.
Yes, let's start with Dastak. We have episodes 19 and 20. I am still cooling off a little after the Qarz Jaan intense review. Okay, so finally Kiran has her apartment and she's there with her mother, and Kiran's mother says, wow, you've set the apartment very nicely, it looks so pretty. And she says, wow, my apartment. Then she said, it's her place for the first time. अपना घर एक औरत को कितना strong बना देता है. She said, like, your own home makes a woman so strong. And her poor mother, she says, and your dad stole this from me, this feeling from me. So anyways, to this thing we are seeing Sajjad uncle being a little lonely. I'm still lonely. I have nobody except for my Fazul sister. I am alone. Because even Cock-up, his youngest daughter, is naraz with him, so he keeps going to his sister, who gives him such fazul advice. My God, she is like, forget about her. What kind of Biwi does this? You did good by doing this thing. You were right.
Even then, she said,
in the second episode, in episode number 20, she says, you can marry again. And I'm like, what? And you can have a son. At his age, now he will have a son. I mean, he can have a son, a man can. But like, what kind of advice are you giving? Such fazul advice. And it was her advice, by the way, in the first place, that he did such a below the belt.
Do you think, is he now realizing what he did?
Yes, definitely. You can say it from his face. He's definitely realizing. Okay, coming back from Sajjad uncle. Actually, I will like to say here, I'm liking this little adult conflict, because we are seeing usually youngsters having conflicts or middle-aged.
This
they are
time
also
it's
middle-aged, but they're
yeah.
like grandparents still, right? They have a grandson. So that kind of conflict where the mother is not talking to her husband and her husband is missing her, but he's still blaming her.
At that age, there should not be conflict. Otherwise, you wear different socks to your office.
Yes. Yeah, he does that. And by the way, his colleague, Sajad uncle's colleague is like, okay, because he makes bahana, he sees he's wearing wrong socks because, you know, he is distracted, he's missing his wife, and maybe his wife gave him socks to wear also. I mean, grow up man. But okay. So he says that, oh yeah, she has a flu to his colleague because his colleague
Then
notices.
we will visit you.
He says, okay, then we are coming, we are visiting.
Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, okay, I know you go to the Temadari, you know, in like in more every culture, I feel like in Turkish culture,
Yeah,
if
you
someone is
visit
sick, you
someone.
visit the sick
Yeah.
person. But they were so forceful. Okay, calm down.
Also,
man.
maybe not on the same day. Like you
Yeah.
can just maybe after some couple of days.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was about Sajad and his wife conflict that is going on, Kiran's parents. Then we have Saif. He saw his son after 5 years for the first time, and he follows. He keeps out of the way, but he sees Shani. So what did you think of that scene? I mean,
Yeah, what can I think actually? Like,
there is not much to think.
no, my only thing is that scene. What did I think is like he has no right now. Like,
Yeah.
I can think like this, right? You abandoned, I guess, your child.
You abandoned your child. You left your child, and now you are wanting to be, because I understand you're divorced, but you can still have joint custody, look after your son. How can you forgive your own child, your own flesh and blood? I do not understand when people, and men can do this more easily always. Then we see that Moiz is also introduced to Kiran's mom. It is very cute.
Yeah.
And then in the episode number 19, they go for a walk where he finally puts the question. He says that I like you.
मोहब्बत करता हूँ तुमसे किरण, शादी करना चाहता हूँ तुमसे.
And I liked you not just now, from the university days. मैं तुमसे मोहब्बत करता हूँ, शादी करना चाहता हूँ. I want to marry you. I love you. And Kiran is just like kind of shocked by this. And that's the scene. And he says that please, you will think about this. Don't reject me right away. Do give it a thought. And then we will talk again.
Yeah.
So this scene happens, and Kiran is in that scene. I don't know how, but okay, we are giving dramatic licenses that she cannot. She still
Say, like,
that she has a son. So Moiz still doesn't know that Kiran has a son until this scene.
True.
Then Kiran tells Kabir Mamu about Moiz, and Mamu is very happy. He said, "Oh wow, he's still like in
I
love."
remember that guy he was saying.
Yeah, I remember him. So he says that, why don't you? She says, no, I don't like, he will not accept me. I don't want any man in my life. And then she says he will not accept, I think, Shani. And what if then he says, why are you being so negative? She says, I'm not being negative, I'm being practical. He says,
but she also still doesn't say. So how can she be like this? That's
so she says that I just don't want to make any hasty decision. And then we see that Moiz's Ammi finds out everything from her friend. What was her friend's name? Did I write it down? I can't find it. Anyways, that Kiran is actually divorced, girly, who has a son, and her ex-husband was not a good man. So okay, we have this from Moiz's mother finds out. So we move on to episode number 20, where Saif, it starts again with Saif seeing Shani and Kiran at the mall, and they are having something, which I will just say that in our dramas, when in our country, especially when there's a social issue and you guys maybe are not promoting it, I don't think you're promoting it, but if you are showing it in the show and you are enabling it, it is not good. You should be aware of the societal issues, right? So for people who might get confused what I'm talking about, I'm just talking about that when Saif sees Kiran, Shani in the mall, in the food court eating something, I just feel like the brands can be blurred out if you are going to, just blur those things out. Okay, just a small personal opinion. Okay, then Sajjad uncle calls his wife after being like sad and lonely.
Ah, there was that blurry scene also. The S.
Yeah, they blurred his
They
phone.
blurred,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
The name was blurred.
Why? Adam, don't share your opinion. Adam had some funny, but maybe not very appropriate opinions for the review. So, yeah, his phone is blurred. Like, why is his phone blurred? Anyways, maybe they didn't, because her name in the show is Sabba or something. I don't know. Maybe
It means
when it,
something
no,
else?
no. When it rang, maybe it was another name and they realized during editing, so they had to blur it out.
Maybe.
Or they could superimpose, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was too
Okay.
much work. They were like, blurring is easier.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we are also have to make such editing
There should be a reason for
decisions.
that. Yeah, there should be a reason.
So he says that, he calls her and he says that, okay, enough of your manmani. Manmani means enough of your zid, kind of. Now come back.
It was inat. Before.
Yeah.
If you guys
That's-
watched our
That's why I
videos,
translated Urdu to Urdu for Adam, because he
Zid
knows the
inat,
meaning
yes.
of Zid. So he says that, come home, enough of this. He's still like blaming her, kind of, that you've done enough. The house is in a disarray. He doesn't admit that he is feeling sad, but he puts it on her, and she's like, you are still not regretful of your mistake. What kind of a man are you? Wake up, guy. Not in these words, but in other words. She basically says.
True.
So, and we see Saif in the car being like, my Shani, my son, kind of, he says to himself. Sorry, I'm a little out of sequence, but okay. Then Moiz comes to Kiran's flat looking for her, but Kiran is gone. But Kiran's mother has high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So then he takes her to the hospital, and being a good guy he is, he insists and he takes her to the hospital. Then Kiran comes there. Again he says that you never answered me.
You are ignoring me.
Yes, you are ignoring me. Why are you doing this? He says that I think a woman makes a man complete and strong in front of Kiran and Kiran's mother. And then Kiran says, why are you doing all this? Don't do. But he says, I want to marry you. Then she says, okay, I will think about it. So 2 times in the hospital, guys, 2 times the sentence, I have a son.
Say.
How hard is to say I have a son? But 2 times, once a nurse calls, second time his phone rings. So she can never tell him that. She just says this sentence, there are some things about me, you don't know everything about me. Now one person would think,
As if she's a murderer.
Is she a serial killer? You don't know everything about me. I have a secret power or like something.
Yeah.
She has a son, and whenever she's trying to get, like, I have it gets interrupted and something. Okay, I think dramatic license we can say, right? To add more.
True.
It to him. What did I just say? I think I'm getting tired after the whole day. It to him.
Or after our heated
conversations. Also, I'm feeling a little. Again, Ankara's weather is very unpredictable. You guys have to come here to see that. Okay, we are coming towards the end. So, exactly like I said, no, she cannot get that sentence out of her mouth. So basically, then we see that Moiz finally tells his parents that I like Kiran, I want to marry her.
Yeah, and he learns.
First, his parents say she is a divorcee. They make a big thing, especially his father makes a big thing. She's a divorcee. You want to marry a divorcee. She's probably after, like, he doesn't say that after your money, but then his mother says, but not just that, she also has a son. Will you be able to accept him? And there he goes in the shock because he never knew that. So then we see the father be like, see, she intentionally hid this from you because she's only interested in your money, I guess, or so this means I don't care. So what we are seeing, that Moiz's dad is putting all his like trauma that he has had from his brother,
right?
who had a bad woman in his life who was a gold digger, and he died of heartache, I guess. He doesn't want Moiz to go through that, so he's not even giving any chance to Kiran to like get to know her or anything, just because number one, she's divorced, number two, she has a son and she didn't tell him. He is thinking that she is basically an opportunist, a gold digger who just wants Moiz for his money because she got an apartment from him, but she's paying for that apartment just at smaller installments and at just like that, like Moiz helped her. So we see that Moiz tries to remember, oh yeah, so maybe this was what Kiran wanted to tell me. And he had seen children's stuff in her apartment when she was unpacking, so it hits him. And so I think that makes him realize that at least she wasn't hiding this from him, but she couldn't tell him because of the situation. True. But he thinks to himself, okay, I love her.
I cannot accept this.
Yeah, I cannot accept the son. He says that to himself.
क्या इतनी हिम्मत है मुझ में कि किरण के साथ उसके बेटे को भी अपना सकूं? नहीं, मैं ये नहीं कर सकता.
So Moiz, you disappointed.
The trailer, but we saw otherwise.
Yes, but
he says,
we don't talk about promos. Otherwise, we will talking so much.
I'm joking. It's not.
Yeah, I'm joking.
We saw
also.
In the teaser.
So yeah, so basically here we are basically finished with the review. She just says that Moiz is thinking that I cannot accept Kiran with a son, but I think when I first watched the drama a few hours ago, I was a little disappointed with Moiz, but then I'm thinking, okay, it just suddenly came to him. And it's a big responsibility to accept a ready-made child into your life.
It's not easy.
So it's not an easy decision. So maybe he needs, his first initial reaction is a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, I cannot accept this.
True.
But if he thinks it over, if he loves her that much, he might accept the son, which I think he will. I think it's pretty predictable. But I think now I'm not that much disappointed because it should take you a while. Like it's unrealistic to, if you just out of a blue learns that, you love this woman, this woman has a child also, imagine, it will hit you, right? You can rethink your decision.
You rethink, but then you can accept or...
Yeah, so, and just before that, Saif's mother, on the other hand, is encouraging him to include Shani into his life again. He says, I will never go to Kiran. I just why is he so angry with Kiran, as if Kiran did something bad to him? That I don't like you, Saif, for these reasons. What is this? And he also smiled a little, which finally he smiled. Usually he has such a sadu face the whole time. I mean, nothing against the actor, but Saif, as a character, is like a sadu madu badu. Say sadu.
Sadu.
So cute. Say sadu. I make my husband entertain me like this. Hey parrot, say for me.
Bolo.
Bolo.
Bolo, speak.
Bolo, bolo. Okay, that was a Sajad Ali song. So guys, we are done with our reviews for today. I hope you stuck with us until this time, because now we are going to the segment
Word of the Day.
So today's word at them and our viewers is shadi, because in Dastak, Kiran's mom is like shadi, 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 shadi. Then Saif was saying to, Moiz was saying to Kiran, shadi, 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 shadi. So I thought, why not? Let's translate, let's learn the translation of shadi in Turkish.
Okay, of course, let's learn. Shadi is wedding, of course, in English, and in Turkish it is düğün. Düğün is, I can say like this, D, then U with two dots on top of that, then G with silent G, then U again with dots, then N. So it is like düğün.
It's like dune.
Listen, Argaib!
But not dune.
Dune. Dune.
Dune.
Yeah.
I feel like shadi is such a nice, but this word dune to me is like doom, doom.
Düğün.
Like doom.
Yeah, but not dün, kind of dün. There is also dün. Dün means yesterday.
Yes, I know. Dün, yesterday. Yarın means tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dün.
Dün.
Yeah. On this dün, let's end our review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please like,
share,
subscribe to Mia
Biwi
Aur TV. I'm always trying new things, so until something sticks. Guys, take care. Have a nice week. Bye bye from us.
Good Hafiz.
Thanks for watching. Like,
Share.
subscribe.
Ah, this is so girly.
No, it isn't.